Welcome to Women's Wellness Wednesday. I'm Kelly Gosh. I'm at the Cox Women's Center in Branson. And today I think we're going to dive into a little bit of information about perimenopause. A lot of women get very confused by this. They don't actually know the process or what's going to happen. And just to be clear, some women coast through this like with no issues at all. Some women actually go through it with some little disruptions, and then other women just basically tank. They don't do very well at all. But what we know is usually perimenopause starts in the mid-40s. Sometimes it can start sooner. There's always exceptions to every rule. They say overall they feel like perimenopause usually lasts about 4 years, but that also varies drastically with different women. But basically what it is when your ovaries are getting ready to shut down. It's time for you to move into a different part of your life. You're no longer going to be in your reproductive years. And so the ovaries begin to shut down, and it would be great if they would just shut off like a faucet, but that is not how it works. They actually kind of flutter and they click on and they click off, and that's where all the confusion comes in. Generally, the first thing you'll notice when you start this process is that your cycle will be disrupted. So if you were used to having regular periods, all of a sudden you'll either go a month without, you may even go 2 or 3 months without, and then you'll have one. And that can vary all over the place. Kind of the normal way to walk through this process is that the periods would space out, and more until you went 12 months without, and then we think you kind of done it. We've gone through menopause, you're now postmenopausal. But a lot of women will get, with the ovaries clicking on and off, an actual really erratic cycle. And they'll have 2 periods, 3 periods, bleeding here and there and all over. Night sweats, hot flashes, you know, it kind of comes and goes. A lot of women they know when that ovary is clicked back on because all of a sudden they're not sweating, but then they know immediately when it's clicked back off as well. There's a lot of women that complain of irritability, moodiness, sometimes feeling depressed, because you're kind of just on a roller coaster with your hormones at that stage. The first thing you want to realize is try to eat healthy, try to get exercise. Anything that would handle a stressful situation for you is going to be helpful in this situation as well. For the women that are just not doing well, they're just not doing well, we sometimes have to go ahead and choose hormone replacement therapy. We have to kind of level you back out so that you can just feel normal again. It's okay to go through perimenopause because as women, we're all going to do it. You're not alone. But you need to talk to your provider. You need to let them know what's happening with your cycle so we know if we can just monitor you or if we need to check on your bleeding. And you don't want to let yourself go too far over the edge. If you let the hot flashes and night sweats take over, I always say it's like a cascade down a staircase. Your cycle disrupts, then you start having sweating all night, then you stop sleeping, then you become sleep deprived, and then you kind of hit the bottom of the floor and you're depressed and you don't know what's happening, and it kind of swirls out of control on you really quickly. And I think what you have to keep in mind is menopause is just one thing. It's the ovaries shutting off. It's not a disease. It's actually a natural progression of events. But there are things we can do to make it more comfortable for you and to make you tolerate this time in your life a little bit better.